Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in. Got a couple of old broadcast cameras to have a look at today. They're both not working, they both have problems. The heads are both DXC-325Ps, and on the back of them they both got the EVV-9000P HI8 video recorders. These are both dockable cameras, so these can actually be removed. You can replace the backs with just a standard camera block to go straight into like a pneumatic or whatever. But like I said, both of these have got problems. They've both got the IR filter rot problem as well. Both decks are dead, unfortunately, not working, but both camera heads are powering up. So in today's video, we're going to have a look at these two, see if we can get one going out of the pair, and probably have a look at the IR filter rot as well. I'm not expecting to get the HI8 decks working today, more of a case of just getting the cameras themselves cleaned up in a good working order. So for that and hopefully more, stay tuned and I'll see you right after this. Okay, so let's take a look around the camera, shall we? We'll talk about the camera head first. It's a 3CCD head. This camera dates from around about 1991, I think 92. On the side there you've got a composite video output, another lens input there for different types of lenses. So the lens on it at the moment, it's an automatic one. It connects via some contacts, which I'll show you in a moment. That's the viewfinder connection. And this one uses the old 5-pin DIN plug, which is quite common on the old cameras from the late 70s, early 80s. After the 90s, late 90s or mid 90s, it started to change over to a different connection. We've got a hot shoe mount on the top there. There's another mount there as well on the top, threaded bar length thing there. Little microphone, monaural microphone. And round on this side you've got your gain switch to adjust the sensitivity. You can have bars on there. We've got auto for the white balance, or defaultly 3200K power on off switch. Just under the front there you've got an adjustment for up, down, on off. Forget what that's for actually, it might be a shutter speed. Around the other side, which you can't see very well, there's another switch there. Forget what that's for. Look at that up in a minute. We'll look at that closely actually on its own, that bit on the front. And then on the side here you've got a little panel that opens up, and you've got quite a few little bits of adjustments in there. Let's bring this closer. There we are, got all these adjustments here. Shutter on or off, and you can adjust the speed, the shutter, zebra on and off, display or charge, record review. As I mentioned before, this head detaches from the back there, so you can change the recording unit or just have it as a plain camera. So you could put a probably a beta cam on the back there. Obviously this is a HI8 unit on here at the moment. There's probably other things as well that will plug onto it. Let's just remove this lens. To do that, just bring this up here and the lens just comes out. And there you go, there are those contacts I mentioned before. Unfortunately, two of the contacts on this one broke off, which control the auto aperture, so I have to adjust that manually now. These are spring loaded, and if you don't quite line it up right, you'll break them off, and I think that's what I've done in the past. Right, now I'm getting a closer look at the front of this. The VTR button there, which is an unusual place to put it actually. And auto white balance, white and black. I'll do a close-up of the IR filter. This one's not looking too bad actually. It's got a bit of a blur at the bottom and a slight drip coming down it. And on the side here is your filter adjustment. The different filters. And now looking at the VTR unit on the back of this, it's a HI8 machine, has its own power switch. Cover here that pops down, and you've got the hours it's done there. And this one's quite low actually. I'll do a close-up of that. In fact, it's only gone 2 bars up, unless it goes back round again, which I doubt. We've got an alarm switch, so I guess that changes the volume. Self-diagnostic switch, and then you've got your monitor select there, and then you've got PCM1, PCM2, AFM, and meter select. On here you've got your display, time-based corrector or counter, reset, light on and off, and your VU meters, and there are your levels that you can adjust. This is the battery pack on the back here. This one takes the MP1 battery. There are alternative battery packs for this as well. And on the bottom there, you've got your DC input, tally light, and a earpiece socket. And then you've got your stereo microphone connectors there. Underneath caps, composite video out and audio. And it's got the RF modulator adapter in the middle there, interestingly as well, like the old camcorders used to have. And then you've got composite video there via BNC. And then on this side, channel 1 and channel 2 mic or line select. Interesting, there's no S-video output on this, looking at it. Would have thought it'd have S-video out. But I guess you're going to take the tape back to the studio once you're filmed, put it on one of the decks, and it'll be edited that way. Composite video out really just for monitoring what you play back quickly on a colour screen, I guess. And on the top there, this cover that comes undone. You've got eject, stop, play, fast forward and rewind, all rubberized, and obviously waterproof to a point for light rain. And on the top there, we've got the model DXF-M7CE black and white CRT viewfinder, again 4x3. And here's your tripod mount underneath. It's a standard VCT14 tripod mount will fit this, and this one has the shoulder pad still installed as well. I'll show you in a bit how to undo all this to get the camera dock off the back. And this particular unit here, I have the VCL 810BX Canon lens. That goes 8 to 80mm, that one. It's fully automatic via those terminals, or you can do manual override as well. It's in very good condition actually, apart from those pins that are missing. No fogging on this one. There we go, you got manual servo control there. And some caps underneath there for attaching external controllers. So if you want to control the aperture or the zoom, or maybe the focus as well. I think this one might be motorized. It's got the teeth there for it. You can do that as well. Actually no, this one feels like there's no resistance actually on this one. So it'll just be the zoom and the aperture. And there you have the contacts there to make contact with the lens. And there's the infamous IR filter. These all seem to fail on the Sony cameras. And the 2 or 3 elements of glass there basically, and the bonding between them breaks down as time goes on. So what you need to do is take them apart and clean them to remove the bonding agents. And that makes them all nice and clear again. I have actually covered this on the previous video, but I may cover this in this video as well. And there's the front of the control buttons there. You've got auto white balance, white and black, BTR mode, then you've got some adjustments here for up and down and on and off, which will be to do with the menu, I guess. Okay, so I've got it all set up, got it pointing to that test card there. That's in the viewfinder. And I've got a little Sony PVM monitor here set up. It's an old one, but it still just about works. As you can see, the picture looks a little bit washed out. This is because of that IR filter interference we've got with that glue separating. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take it apart actually to see if we can improve it. Well, we'll improve it. And then we'll see what it looks like after I clean the IR filter. But before we do that, I'm going to remove everything that's not necessary to be on the camera, so it makes it easier to work on and get to things. So let's remove the viewfinder. The lens. And now we'll take these two apart here. So there's 2 screws there, if I'm rightly, and a couple underneath. There we go. So just a big connector there. It joins onto the camera head itself, and that's it. It's all in pieces now. So next we'll get to this IR filter. You can see there, look, it's dripping down slightly on that one, and there's a patch at the bottom. So it's just those 3 screws there. That should just drop out now. There we are. That's interesting. Seems to be worse on the back. Might be lucky with this one, there might just be something on the back of it. I may not have to separate them. There's a better view now of that. So the damage seems to be on the back. You can see the 3 pieces of glass there, or 2 of them actually. This is one of the cleaner ones I've seen actually. This hasn't gone completely bad yet. Some of them completely cloud over and crystallise. But it does seem to be on the back. Wiping off my finger. Okay, I managed to get it out. It just popped out the front actually, just pushed out, and you can see there's a sticky residue. I think that might be the glue there to hold it in the plastic frame, but there was a stickiness about it. So I'm going to try and clean that now with a bit of IPA. I think I might be lucky with this one. But if you look at the edges there, look, you can see the 3 different layers of glass. Just using some IPA on this. See what happens. Not sure if I can see something clouding on the inside actually. I feel some resistance. Hear it as well. Right, it's better than it was, but I'm still going to carry on with it. Okay, so I've cleaned the outside parts of the glass and they're all clean now. But as you can see here, holding up to the light, you can see there is some delaminating going on between the segments. So I'm going to take them apart, or try to, hopefully without damaging them, and see if we can clean the insides off. Most of what we saw was actually on the outside, oddly enough. But this is all on the inside. You can see around the edges where it's starting to go from the edge. There's a pattern forming in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to try this with a razor blade. Try not to cut myself. Where the grooves are there, basically, there's the 3 segments. That's where I'm going to get my blade between, and hopefully not scratch as I go through it. There we go. That's the first one done. You can see there, look, the glue that's holding it together breaking down. You can see the liquid of it, look. Let's try and get the next one off now. There we go. Don't need to press too hard. It's really just the, I think it's the suction of the glue that's holding it in place. That's just a piece of the paint there from around the edge. But again, there you go, you can see the liquid glue is broken down. So I'm going to clean that off now with some IPA and then put it all back together again. I guess that's the IR filter there. These are just 2 pieces of glass. But without this, you won't get the depth of field right, basically, because I've tried it on a Sony Trinicon. And I tried it without the IR filter because that would have completely perished. Well, the camera did work. You just never could get the depth of field quite right. This is just paint they put around the edge to stop any light bleed. Anyway, I shall carry on cleaning this off camera because it'll be boring for you to watch. So after a while, the IPA begins to break down the glue. You can just rub it off with your nail, look. And here we are after clean up. Unfortunately, I did put a little scratch on this main element here. You see it just there, look. But there's some fine lines going down it. That must have happened as the blade went through. But the other 2 seem to be okay. Not perfect, but you can see a bit of a blemish still on that one. I'll go over that again before I reassemble it. Was that it? Was it gone? Oh, it's gone now. Not perfect, but a lot better than they were. At the end of the day, it's probably never going to get much use anyway. So the blue one goes in the middle, basically. There we are. It's a lot clearer than it was. It might be easier actually to put 1 segment at a time. I won't be painting the edges of these segments if you have any paint leaking in. And I won't be gluing it in place either. I'll see how we get on without any glue. You can see it's a lot better, but you can't see that little scratch on me, unfortunately. But that shouldn't show up on the lens. We'll have a look when we try it. So while we've got the IR filter off, let's have a look at the other filters. And they look all nice and clean. While we're here, I thought I'd just have a look inside. Just 4 screws there that stay in place once you remove that cover. Got a gasket there around the edges to help it keep it watertight against rain, not submerging. It's made out of alloy. Just undone those two screws there, and this board moves up slightly to reveal the insides. There you have the CCD housing there, and then these boards here I can just pull out. That one's certainly very busy, and as you can see, it's quite well made. Components look quite good. Can't see anything leaking on this one. Sometimes you can't see it though, but say this one's working anyway. Here's the other one. Those packages there basically have components on, and they cover them in something so that other manufacturers, if they get a hold of them, can't see what it is. It's all top secret stuff. What I used to do back in the day. So that was camera number one. Let's take a look at camera number two. Okay, so this is camera number two. This one's really fogged up. Here we go again, looking at that screen. This is the image. This one's flickering a bit, and it's really faint. You can only just about see it, unfortunately, due to the fogging. So I'm going to clean the filter, and then we'll have a look inside, see if there's anything obvious why the picture quality is like that. You can see there's a bit of a flicker on it. And there's the IR filter, really fogged up on this one. The other one wasn't as bad. These screws really took some working, but I managed to move them now. I'm wondering if it's because of the amount of glue that's coming out of that filter. I wonder if some of it's evaporated, gone into the surrounding screws and made them corrode, with it being an alloy case. But maybe I'm just talking rubbish. Let's see if it drops out. And the other one just dropped straight out. There we are. It does feel like it was stuck in. Yeah. It's either that, or they've used some kind of Loctite around them, because there is a little bit of residue around each screw. And there's crystallization there on that filter as well. Yeah, look at that. Or maybe I'm wrong, it might just be the plastic. Bit of fungus there on that one. You can see a bit of fungus behind actually as well. Yeah, that one's a lot worse than the other one. Nothing on the outer pieces this time, so it's on the inside. So let's see if I can get this one apart without scratching it. So on this one, it's actually seeping out the edges, look. A lot worse. You never know, this one may end up being cleaner than the other one. In which case I'll just swap it over if it is. Right, just try and get in a little bit this time. There we go. So I've not gone all the way down it this time. I don't think I did before, you know. I have to watch the footage back. So that's the first piece. Oh, there we go. That's the second one. So I've only gone to the edge, and you can see where I've gone because the black paint's gone in. Yeah, that one's just look at that glue. Amazing. Well, I'll give this one a clean now. I won't bother filming it. If you've already seen the first one, I'll just skip through it. Again, I'm just rubbing it off with my nail. Look at that, look. This one's coming off. Bit of IPA. And then just gently rub it off with your nail, because that's not going to scratch it. Assuming it is glass, I'm sure it is. Don't think it'd be plastic. It would have scratched quite easily, wouldn't it? Looks like this one turned out much better. That's all 3 pieces of glass there. No scratches on this one. Still not quite sure how I managed to scratch the other one because the blade didn't even go near the middle. But there you go. I'll probably put this in the other camera if this one doesn't end up working out. So we've got one complete good camera. Before I put the IR filter back in, I'm just going to address this fungus on the internal filters. Just going to use a bit of IPA on a cotton wool bod on one end, and I shall dry it off with the dry end. And that seems to work quite nicely. Well, that worked. Another bit down the bottom there, look. Or was that on the inside? Oh, that's on the inside, I can't get to that. A little bit there. There we are, that's clean. I just can't get behind that filter, he's taking the whole front off to get to that. But anyway, this one's not working properly yet, so let's see if we can get it working first. Okay, so the camera's all back together now. And look at the difference in picture quality. Wow, you can actually see you're going to have a clear image, but we've got that interference happening. And I can hear something as well from the camera itself. Not sure if it's the lens. Something coming from the body of the camera, I think. I'm just going to take the lens off and see if it still does it. Yeah, even with the lens off, it's still making a racket. Not sure if it's coming from the deck or the camera head unit. I just swapped the VTR units over and it's still making that sound. That's the interference I'm getting. We'll have a look inside next and see what's going on. Okay, let's have a look inside this one. See if we can see anything. Mind you, it sounded mechanical. What could it be that's making a mechanical sound? Or it could be a high-pitched whine from something, from a component. Two screws again, same as before. It's exactly the same unit, so sometimes they do revise these things, don't they? Don't remember that on the other one. Almost like a an afterthought. Push it up slightly. There we go. And we're in. So have a look at these boards quickly. You never know, it might be something bad on a board. That lovely electronic smell. First glance, everything looks okay. Oh, I think these little boards pull down as well, look. Amazing. Let's have a look at one, shall we, over here? Noticed that another one. Probably noticed it. You lot watching probably noticed it. There we are. Wow. Marvellous. A little afterthought there, look, a diode and a capacitor. Amazing. This is what you're paying for, the engineering. That there are two connectors and they're hinged. Just remarkable. Oh, and it stays upright, look. Brilliant. Absolutely immaculate. Marvellous. That's interesting. At the bottom there, I don't know if it's showing off on camera, it's a little bit grotty. We'll open up the other side and have a look. Looks like someone's been in here before, done some work. Let's pop these back in for safekeeping. That's a bit bent as well, actually. Someone's definitely been in this one before. So just down the bottom there, we'll have a look on the other side. See what we can see. Let's have a look on this side. It's bulging out a bit, so I wonder if there's a board there. Probably is. That's probably what it is. There's something plugged into it. Yes. There we go. That's that unit there. It's in a can. It's soldered on at that point there. That's what looks messy on the other side. You can certainly smell it. Smells like the Trinicon cameras. It's got that circuit board smell. That looks like it's been disturbed. Oh yes, we've got a modification going on here. Some poor soldering. A component there. Looks like a fuse. Interesting. I think I might open up the other one actually, just to compare. See what that one looks like inside. On that side. It's a good thing about having twos of these things. So I'm trying to make sure you can see everything I'm doing. Just have a look at this one. Yeah, having twos of these things, you can compare them, see what the differences are. I didn't look in this one before, did I? On this side, just on the other side. Yeah, this one does not have that fuse. It's been added. Do a comparison. Yeah. Apart from that, everything else looks pretty much the same. As you would expect. Different numbers there. But the main Sony part number is the same. I know it's not, as I got a 12 on the end. That's the Sony part number in the middle, 146603911. But yeah, this one had a fuse added, it looks like. Tempted to have a look at the other side of that board. Again, mind you, I think it's behind something. Yeah, I'm going to see the other side. That's interesting. Got these coloured wires here, red, blue and green, coming out from underneath to this point here. Don't appear to be on that one. There we go, another modification underneath that piece of tape. Those wires there are going to some resistors. These have been added on afterwards. Interesting. I wonder if a component failed and they bypassed some things maybe. I'm not going to bother going any further, I don't think. So that's probably why, basically. So that's why that looks a bit rough on the other side. Someone's had this off, basically, to do this modification. That's why that is. So I think what I'm going to do is swap that IR filter for the other one that got scratched into that head, because that one's working fine. And this can just be kept for spares. I think that's what I'm going to do. And just out of interest, that modification there you can see on the left over the IC is not on the one on the right. So this one's been really modified. All these extra cables have been put on. So I'm not sure what the mod was, but it's been done. There's a little switch down there at the bottom. It says INH or NOR on that one. On this one there's nothing on it at all. There's no writing there. Where my thumb is. Interesting. I wonder if it's a factory mod. Looks like it is. And here it is up and running. The camera head DXC-325P, I think it was, wasn't it? I've got one good one out of the two. I swapped that IR filter out in the end because I scratched the first one, and I put the good one in this camera head here. It's working with that Fuji lens that I showed you in the previous video, or the beginning of this video, along with the viewfinder. Got a different dock on the back now. I've got a dock on the back that has RGB out. Although I've never managed to get that working, it's all just a purple picture. I think you have to have a sync signal as well, and I haven't figured that out yet. If anybody knows anything about that, please let me know in the comments. At the moment I'm capturing this using this Immersion RC Power Play, just using composite video. And that's the picture that I'm seeing here, and that's the camera there at the back. It's quite a big camera, and that's as far away as I can get it, so I'm quite closed in here. I feel like the old days of broadcasting when everything was so closed in. Obviously we've been spoilt at widescreen, haven't we? So I've still got these two decks to have a look at. I was going to do this in this video, but this video's gone on long enough, I think. It's nearly half an hour now, I think. I did start opening them up, and I have found out inside there are some leaking capacitors on the DC to DC boards. So I've ordered some caps, so hopefully they'll be here soon. So there will be a part 2, so stay tuned for that, where we'll look at those two EVV-9000 decks. I think this camera back in the day obviously came back out in 1990. The lens and the viewfinder, the camera head itself, and a dock probably would have cost between sort of £15,000–20,000, I think. If you do know what these things cost back in the day, if you used them, please let us know in the comments. It's always interesting to find out other people that used this stuff back in the day and what it was used for. Obviously it was for newscasting mostly. But yeah, if you know what this cost back in the day, let us know. I'd be very interested to know. I've not found any literature online about it. I've just got the instruction manual for the video deck. But the cameras are pretty self-explanatory really. I'm really not been in too much depth with it really. I probably could have gone into a bit more depth. Maybe I will on part 2, because there are some other things to look at as well in the menu, I think. But yes, this would have cost a heck of a lot of money back then. Normally I have brochures on domestic equipment showing you what they cost, but I don't have anything on any of this stuff. And I've got quite a few broadcast cameras. As you can see just over there, they're all stacked up. Got quite a lot of gear actually to go through. It'll certainly keep me busy in the winter months. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that with me. As always, thanks for watching. Until the next video, I'll be seeing you. And if you did enjoy watching this video, you may want to take a look at some of my other videos on similar themes. I'm always buying something on eBay, some more piece of technology, and trying to repair it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.